And today we are on number 55. First, master the basics. A youth came to the home of a famous Italian master to beg for voice instruction, only to be curtly refused. Give it up, said the master. The way of a musician is hard. Earnestly the youth replied, I will endure any suffering. Please teach me. On condition that he never utter a word of complaint, however difficult his life became, the musician finally consented to take him on. That very day the youth moved in and commenced to study voice in between managing all the household cooking, cleaning, and laundry. For the entire first year, he practiced nothing but scales. The second year was more of the same. He hoped that in the third year he might be allowed to work on something else. But again, it was scales, scales, and more scales. When the fourth year ended the same way, the youth finally expressed dissatisfaction. Sir, could you possibly teach me something else? The master dismissed the words in a sharp rebuke. In his fifth year, the student learned the chromatic scale and how to sing sotto voce. At the end of the year, the master told him, You may go now. I have no more to teach you. Now you can sing in front of anyone without fear. The youth's name was Gaetano Majorano, 1710 to 1783. Under the stage name Caffarelli, he went on to become the greatest Italian opera singer of the 18th century. It's wrong to look down on mere scales and exercises. The master poured his soul into teaching them to the prodigy for 5 years precisely because he knew that once he had mastered the basics, he would be able to sing any music, however difficult. In any endeavor, mastering the basics is essential. Very good. This is a very powerful story that I wonder how many people really understand its essence, because especially now with technology, everything is becoming fast paced. So that means fewer and fewer people will understand the importance of mastering the basics. You know, in Buddhism, we have an academy in Japan where we learn how to teach Buddhism. And usually people think it's about learning, like, you know, the doctrines or stories, memorizing them and know them how, you know, the art of storytelling, how to share effectively. But actually, the basics are we learn about, yeah, for example, doing laundry, you know, as often as possible. Most people don't realize the value of doing laundry. Like in Japan, they do it almost every day. And the other day, it occurred to me when we do laundry very often, in a sense, it means we don't want to hold on to dirt or we don't want to accumulate bad stuff. So it directly affects our karma and how we purify our karma, how much we pay attention to what we have in that storage of karma. And yeah, so like that's one thing. And then it cultivates a lot of patience in us because doing laundry, cleaning the house, vacuuming, removing the dust, you know, people say like whether the dust is there or not, it's not bothering anyone. Well, you don't know, but like at molecular level, it's bothering our lungs, and then we develop illnesses actually when the dust enters our lungs. And yeah, and then some people even have allergy to it. It gets worse. So we learned about, yeah, vacuuming, sweeping, removing the dust. So again, it's like scales, scales, and more scales. All of these cultivate patience. Without patience, we cannot teach or even go forward on our enlightenment journey. Yeah, patience becomes critical. And also, yeah, this is actually in Japan too, although this is Italy in the story, but in Japan too, when student wants to learn something, it's an honor to be able to live with the master and observe the ways of the master up close. So we learn that, and while we are there, it's like room and board is there. So cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, serving the master, doing what we can to create more time for the teacher so the teacher can guide all these students. So that's kind of tradition in Japan. And yeah, it might be the fastest way to learn the art of a field. So to look down on mere scales and exercises, so that's actually the reason why many people cannot master an art. And also they lose that patience to follow the path all the way to the end. So let us be mindful of that, and good job for just joining this recitation meditation session. It sounds basics, but it's not. We are reciting the whole 7,000 sutras encapsulated in a 20-minute version. So good job, everyone. We're going to have Right View Lab at 8 p.m. tonight, and have a beautiful start of your week. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary, and everybody. Take care.